B. Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan pleads not guilty during her arraignment in federal court. She's charged with obstruction and concealing an individual to prevent an ICE arrest in her county courtroom back in April. Dugan and her lawyers filed a motion to dismiss her case on Wednesday, claiming that the charges are unconstitutional and that she's entitled to judicial immunity for her official acts. Dugan is due back in court for a hearing on July 9th. Mouse droppings have been found in the school kitchen of an MPS building. Milwaukee Health Department located rodent droppings in the main kitchen of Pulaski High School after an inspection into the school on Tuesday. MHD ordered the school to cease all kitchen operations for a week until sanitation is complete, and all potential entrances for mice blocked off. There was no evidence of food contamination reported at the school. Homeless shelters in Waukesha are at capacity. This Wednesday, Hebron Housing Services stated they reached full capacity while the Salvation Army has less than 5 spots available. The unhoused are now facing wait lists and traveling to other locations to see if they have any availability. Waukesha shelters are not alone, as Milwaukee's The Guest House has operated with a wait list in full capacity for years. CEO of the Guest House, Stephen Barr, states that the stock market and uncertainty of federal funded programs may prolong this issue. Hebron Housing Services say they hope to have their emergency overflow shelter open in early June. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and the Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
Welcome into Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am the legendary Home Blow. I am your cousin sub of the day, sponsored by Cousin Subs. And yeah, we are going to have a roller coaster ride. But when I come back after we take care of our first set of bills, I really do need you to buckle up because I'll be reading a criminal complaint, which is a very sick and disturbing criminal complaint, and it will lead into my dialogue and conversation about these particular individuals. I look at them as monsters and definitely predators and try to get your thoughts on it. But before going into that, the breaking news that is happening right now here in the city of Milwaukee and still currently going on as I speak. There is an active shooter in the Zeidler, the Frank Z. Zeidler building here in downtown Milwaukee. So they have locked down the Zeidler building and City Hall. Both are under lockdown. There's an active shooter, and they report that there were shots fired on the fourth floor of the Zeitler building. So if you got family and friends that work in either the Frank P. Zeitler building or work at City Hall, understand that they are all under lockdown at this particular time, this current time. This is some breaking news that is going on now as we speak. It is still an active scene. There were reports of shots actually being fired on the fourth floor in the Frank P. Zeitler building here in downtown Milwaukee. So just so you know, if you are coming down into the downtown area and you find yourself not being able to go this way or that way, that is the reason that you can't. And again, we want to pray for all of our city workers and any of the workers that work in those facilities, because again, right now, all we know that is there were shots actually fired on the fourth floor in the Frank P. Zeitler building, and the building is on lockdown, as well as City Hall is on lockdown. So again, we pray for those that nobody ended up getting injured or wounded by those shots that were fired, and that everybody else is safe, because when you're in a situation like that, you can only imagine how terrifying it is, because, you know, you never think that you're going to be in those situations a lot of times. And so it's like, what do you do? What do you do when that happens? How do you react? And it's important. And it's also important to tell people that you love them before you head off to work and everything, because you just don't know. You just don't know. Jaheim, you know, with the song Just in Case, you don't know. Again, we're going to pray that no one was injured by the shots that were fired in the Frank P. Zeitler building, municipal building here in downtown Milwaukee. And we hope that, you know, everybody is safe and that they end up getting the shooter or shooters. We don't know at this time if it was just one shooter or if it was multiple shooters. This is a breaking story. This is in progress right now. So I'm sure we will begin to learn more as this story continues to develop. And you can be sure that we will keep you updated here on The Truth 101.7 FM, the award-winning 101.7 FM. So again, prayers to everybody who has loved ones that may work in that building and may be caught up in this situation. JD the Poet on the YouTube page, great afternoon, love you, appreciate you. Said my cousin worked in the Zeitler building. I just texted her and she says she's under her desk. And again, like I say, people, this is real time. You can't, you know, we have rehearsals and we have different drill sessions that we try to teach people how to react. But sometimes until you are in these situations, you just don't know, and you hope that your instincts and your reflexes go back to all of the information that you had to learn from. You feel what I'm saying? And that everybody will end up being safe. Commander Dukes, great afternoon. Love you. Appreciate you. Dr. Clarissa Lawrence, great afternoon. Love you. Appreciate you. I always say after 5, it'll be evening. So right now I'm still saying afternoon. And then some people it's 6 o'clock, but I do 5. 5 o'clock is like it's evening now. We off. But yeah, so if you have family and friends, you know, if you can try to reach out to them via phone, or hopefully they may be trying to reach you. If you've seen some missed calls, that's probably why you're getting those calls. Hopefully they're trying to let you know that they are okay, but they're still scared or terrified because it's still an active situation that is going on right now. And of course, those of you who are checking us out on the YouTube, The Truth 101.7, The Truth YouTube page or X, you should see me, the cousin sub of the day, sitting right there. So there's no mistakes. I am the club sub, and I am in for Dr. Ken Harris, of course, who is on assignment. So yeah, just pray, just pray, just pray. Curly Q, great afternoon. Love you, appreciate you. Not really a city girl. Great afternoon. Love you. Appreciate you. Mal the Elephant. Great afternoon. Love you. Appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who supports Truth Nation. We love you. We appreciate you. And I like to try to show that. But there is going to be a criminal complaint that I'm going to read after we take our break. And I really need you to brace yourself. I really need you to brace yourself because it's very, very disturbing. And yeah, so some people, if you have ever been in a situation where you may have been raped or sexually assaulted or molested or incest, then this criminal complaint may trigger you. So I always like to let people know that you may need to, I know people don't be like wanting nobody to log off or whatever, but some of the details inside of this criminal complaint are going to be very, very disturbing. And again, I think that there's a place that people that do these type of things need to go. But of course, I'm not the judge, jury, or the executioner, because if I was, we wouldn't have to deal with these type of individuals who end up ruining people's lives and and I'm telling you, and I'm going to try to make sure that we end up showing the picture of Eric A. Walker, who this criminal complaint is about, and the fact that he's charged with first-degree sexual assault of a child, sexual intercourse with a child under the age of 12, first-degree child sexual assault, sexual intercourse with a child under the age of 13. And like I say, these details are very, very disturbing. So I'm warning you now. That's my personal disclaimer. We got to get ready to take care of some bills again. So coming up, first and foremost, active shooter reporting downtown Milwaukee here at the Frank P. Zeidler building, and they are under lockdown. There were reports of shots fired on the 4th floor of the Frank P. Zeidler building. And of course, City Hall and the Frank P. Zeidler building are both on lockdown at this time. When I come back, prepare yourselves mentally, if you can, for this criminal complaint that I'm going to read. The toll-free, the text talk number that you can call if you want to join the conversation after I get through reading the criminal complaint, 833-212-1017. Stream us live on YouTube or X at 1017 The Truth. While you're there, like and subscribe. We'll have more conversation on the other side. I am your cousin sub of the day, the legendary Home Blow will be black.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Turn up the summer vibes at Chula Vista Resort, your playground for summer dreams, water parks, and sun-soaked pools, epic water slides, soaring zip lines, and world-class golf. Dine in the #1 steakhouse in Wisconsin. Chula Vista Resort. Call 1-800-388-4782 or visit chulavistaresort.com.
Great Impressions Graphics and Printing. They've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years from their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee. Their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design.
Great Impressions.
Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come. This or that. 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 This or that.
Come on, who's the black sheep? What's a black sheep? Know not who I am or when I'm coming, so you sleep. Wasn't in my realm or wasn't in your sphere. Knew not who I was, but listen here. Press P-O-E-S, yes, I guess I could start.
Calling all black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We have teamed up with Associated Bank for our black-owned business Give Black. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. To sign up for your business spotlight interviews, visit blackbusinessgiveblack.com. That is blackbusinessgiveblack.com. Let's rebuild our community backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveblack.com. Associated Bank member FDIC. Welcome, Black. It is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. I am the cousin sub of the day, a club sub brought to you by Cousin Sub. I am Dr. Ken Harris is on assignment. We're on the new 1017 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. And this is going to be a very disturbing criminal complaint. And if you are watching us on our YouTube page, you'll be able to see the mugshot of the person who is charged, as well as some of the charges that he is facing. But again, if you are just tuning in, Truth Nation, if you are just tuning in, I'm letting you know now that this is a very sick and disturbing criminal complaint, and some of you may not be able to stomach it. So if you're here, just understand, I'll let you know. And as I always say before I read criminal complaints, if you are immediate family or friends of the defendant who is charged in this particular criminal complaint, or you are immediate family or friends of the victims of this particular criminal complaint, all of the information I'm disseminating is already of public record. So I am not sharing any information that is not already of public record. With that being said, Eric A. Walker of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, date of birth 8/25/85, and count one. Again, let me make sure that those who are following, you're seeing it on the YouTube page. Are we up with the pictures? Okay, cool. His mugshot. Give me his mugshot, and then I'll be reading the charges. So if you are looking on YouTube, our YouTube channel, you'll see Eric Walker, again, date of birth 8/25/85. Count one. Now we can go to the charges as I'm about to start reading them. Count one, first-degree sexual assault of a child, sexual intercourse with a child 12 years of age, under 12 years of age. The above-named defendant between November 1st, 2018 and November 31st, 2018, in the city of Milwaukee, did have sexual intercourse with AMH, date of birth 3/8/10, and this was in 2018, so she was 8 years old. A person who had not attained the age of 12. Class B felony, the defendant may be sentenced to a term of imprisonment not to exceed 60 years. And furthermore, invoking the provisions of the Wisconsin statute that the defendant being 18 years of age or older at the time of the offense, again, it shall be time added to the sentence, at least 25 years. Count 2, first-degree sexual assault, sexual intercourse with a child under the age of 13. The above-named defendant, Eric A. Walker, between January 1st, 2022 and December 30th, 2022 in the city of Milwaukee, did have sexual intercourse with a person who had not attained the age of 13, AMH, date of birth 3/8/10. So remember, it's the same girl, 8 years old, and then, of course, it was an ongoing thing, unfortunately. Count 3, incest with a child, step-parent. The above-named defendant between January 1st, 2022 and December 30th, 2022 in the city of Milwaukee, being the step-parent of AMH, date of birth 3/8/2010, did have sexual intercourse with that child. Upon conviction of this offense, a Class C felony, the defendant may be fined not more than $100,000 or imprisoned not more than 40 years or both. Count 4, sexual exploitation of a child. The above-named defendant, Eric A. Walker, on or about Thursday, May 8th, 2025, at 6400 block on North 49th Street in the city of Milwaukee, did persuade a child to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of recording or displaying in any way the conduct. Class C felony, $100,000 fine, 40 years in prison or both. Glenn, we can go back to his photo as I continue to read so people will be able to see. Again, if you are on our YouTube page, you'll get a chance to see the mugshot of Eric A. Walker. Again, count 5. Let's see. Yeah, we got 40 years of both. Okay, on the sexual exploitation of a child, did persuade a child to engage in sexually explicit conduct for the purpose of recording or displaying. Class C felony, $100,000 fine, 40 years in prison or both. And of course, other fines and charges added to that. Count 5, possession of child pornography. On or about Thursday, May 8th, 2025, in the city of Milwaukee, did, having attained the age of 18, knowingly access in any way the intent to view photographs of a child engaging in sexually explicit conduct and knew that the child was under the age of 18. Class D felony, $100,000 fine, 25 years in prison or both, as well as more fines and statute enhancements on the years that he may receive in prison. Count 6, another possession of child pornography, on or about Thursday, May 8th, 2025. Again, had photographs of a child engaging in sexually explicit conduct and knew that the child was under the age of 18. Class D felony, $100,000 fine, 25 years in prison or both. Count 7, exposing genitals. The above-named defendant on or about Saturday, May 10th, 2025, at 6400 block of 49th Street in the city of Milwaukee, for purposes of sexual arousal or gratification, did expose his intimate parts to a child. Class I felony, $10,000 fine, 3.5 years in prison or both. Count 8, child enticement. The above-named defendant on or about Saturday, May 10th, 2025, in the city of Milwaukee with intent to cause a child to expose genitals, pubic area, or intimate parts to him, did cause a child under the age of 18, AMH, date of birth 3/8/2010, to go into a room. Class D felony, $100,000 fine, 25 years in prison or both. Now, those are just the charges. Those are just the charges, which, again, should be very, very disturbing. But now I'll begin, and I'll have to come back and finish it because there's a few more pages to this. And again, if you are just logging on or you're just tuning in, if you're watching on the YouTube page, if you're watching on the X 1017 The Truth, again, while you're there, please like and subscribe. This is a very disturbing criminal complaint. If you are watching us, you will see the mugshot of Eric Walker, date of birth 8/25/85, and his charges, several charges, 8 to be exact. So I'm going to start, but again, we will be taking care of bills momentarily. So I will do this in sections and try to keep you up to par as much as possible. Probable cause. Disclosure and sexual abuse complaint on May 10th, 2025. On May 10th, 2025, 15-year-old victim AH, date of birth 3/8/10, and her mother, MW, date of birth 8/3/88, reported sexual abuse by defendant Eric Walker at the District 4 police station. MW identified the defendant as her husband. AH identified the defendant as her stepfather. MW explained that KR, date of birth 2/22/88, contacted her about a concerning text message exchanged between AH and the defendant. MW asked AH about the text messages that showed the defendant requesting that she send him nude photographs. AH disclosed that the defendant had been sexually abusing her since 2018. MW informed law enforcement that she, AH, and the defendant had lived together in the city and county of Milwaukee since 2017. I got to get ready to take care of a break. Again, please brace yourself. E. Boogie, great afternoon. Love you. Appreciate you. When we come back, I will continue to read this disturbing criminal complaint for Eric Walker. The Truth Talk text lines, I'll open them up, especially after I get done reading the full criminal complaint at 833-212-1017. Stream us live on YouTube and X at 1017 The Truth. We'll have more conversation after this. I am your cousin sub of the day. Club sub is what I am, and I am sponsored by Cousin Subs. Filling in for Dr. Ken Harris, who's on assignment. We'll be back on the other side.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ready for more fun? More friendships? More adventures?
Then it's time to become a Girl Scout.
Explore the outdoors, meet forever friends, and make a difference in your community. Sign up for our extended year membership today. Girls can join for $98 and adults for $42. Start in April and enjoy up to 5 extra months of fun. The extended year membership is April 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026, followed by a regular membership year. So what are you waiting for?
Join us and be a Girl Scout.
My name is Adrienne, and I was hurt in a car accident. What Gruber Law Office has done for me was made me feel safe. It didn't cost me anything, just one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Experience some of the most cherished popular music of all time when the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra presents Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound, May 23rd through the 25th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Byron Stripling will lead the MSO and an exciting trio of vocalists that include Broadway superstar Chester Gregory, Ashley J., and Brick Liam in a musical sojourn of hits made famous by legendary talents such as Lou Rawls, Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, and The Temptations. Songs like My Girl, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and I'm Coming Out will come alive in fun and stylish arrangements that are sure to have you dancing and humming along in your seat. Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound runs May 23rd through the 25th only. So lock up your tickets right now by calling the box office at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Backups aplenty right now. 4145 north and south between Appleton Avenue and Watertown Plank Road. That's going to be very slow, as it has been all morning due to the construction and just general morning rush volume. 43 north from downtown all the way up to Capitol Drive, going to be slow there as well. And 43 south from Silver Spring down to Keefe is just a touch slow as well. And checking the storm team forecast, a dense fog advisory remains in effect for our lakefront counties as well as Waukesha and Washington counties until 10 o'clock this morning. Then the threat becomes severe weather this afternoon into the early evening. Large hail, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, all possible later today. Mid-70s for highs lakeside, up to 86 inland, clearing out tonight and down to 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Adam Roberts on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Brewers' losing skid came to a halt as they get a 9-5 win over the Cleveland Guardians on Wednesday afternoon. Rhys Hoskins had 4 hits, drove in 5 runs, and the Brewers finally get back into the win column.
It's nice to hit with 2 legs. I'm swinging at the right pitches. I'm taking the right pitches, and the key to this game is not missing the ones that show up in the middle of the plate.
Next up for the Brewers is a series against the Minnesota Twins beginning on Friday. The Green Bay Packers' 2025 schedule is out for the first time in Matt LaFleur's tenure. They will open the season at home. They will host Detroit on Sunday, September 7th. And the bye week for the Packers comes early in Week 5. And lastly, over to the NBA, where the Celtics beat the Knicks 127-102. That series now 3-2 with the New York Knicks still out in front. And the Warriors clinching their ticket to the Western Conference Finals for the second consecutive year with a 121-110 win over the Golden State Warriors. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah, you pronounce my name. Any questions? I bring many blessings with my man High Tech, and he from the Natty. We make the sky crack, feel the fly trap. Get your hands up like a hijack, fists in the air. Keep them there like natural mystic or smoke when the spliff's lit. It's a revolutionary word. They ask me what I'm writing for. I'm writing to show you what we fighting for. Say Talib and Talib. If it's hard, try spelling it phonetically. If not, then just let it be like Nina Simone. You probably don't listen, B. Even when we suffer losses, I count the victory. Sometimes it's far in between. I'm sad to say you got my brain crowded like sunset on a Saturday.
Welcome back to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101, the award-winning 101.7 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am your cousin sub of the day. I'm a club sub sponsored by Cousin Subs, the legendary Home Blow. In for Dr. Ken, who is on assignment right now. If you are just tuning in or logging on to our YouTube page, or you're on the Truth Talk text line, I'm in the midst of reading a very disturbing criminal complaint for Eric A. Walker, who is charged with sexual assault of his own stepdaughter. Started when she was 8. All right, I will continue. So from where I left off, it said it gave the acknowledgement of who he was to her. And AH disclosed that the defendant had been sexually abusing her since 2018. She was 8 years old. MW informed law enforcement that she and AH and the defendant had lived together in the city and county of Milwaukee since 2017. AH stated that the first instance occurred in November 2018 when she was 8 years old. AH recalled living in the 2600 block here in Milwaukee. AH stated that the defendant came into her bedroom and the defendant asked AH, "Do you want to see a volcano erupt?" AH told the defendant no. However, the defendant pulled his pants down and instructed AH to put her mouth on his penis. AH told the defendant she did not want to. The defendant responded, "If you love me, you will do it."
Trash.
sucked on the defendant's penis for approximately 5 minutes. Stated that the defendant ejaculated. Described an incident from 2022, and again, I give you the warning that it is graphic and is very, very disturbing. Described an incident from 2022 at a life storage facility in the city and county of Milwaukee. Believed it was in 2022 because she was in 7th grade then. Stated that the defendant was supposed to drop her at a middle school dance. However, the defendant took a detour to a storage unit facility. The defendant instructed to go into the storage unit with a couch and lie on it. The defendant took off his clothes and removed AH's underwear. The defendant inserted his penis into AH's vagina. The defendant engaged in sexual intercourse for 10 to 15 minutes. The defendant was AH's stepfather at this time. Law enforcement reviewed a text message exchange between the defendant and 15-year-old AH. The defendant texted AH, "Only if I could get a video," to which AH replies of. The defendant responds, "Really?" with the legs opened up. AH responds, "Isn't that the same as a picture?" The defendant told AH, "You can do more with the video." Law enforcement recovered 2 new photographs of AH that the defendant acknowledged receiving. The first photograph depicts AH's vagina. The second photograph depicts AH's breast. AH sent the photographs on May 8th, 2025 at their shared residence in the 6400 block on 49th here in Milwaukee. A detective later interviewed KR, date of birth 1/27/10, a friend of AH who identified the defendant as AH's stepfather. KR observed a text message exchange between AH and the defendant, which included the nude photographs. Alarmed by the content, KR contacted her mother, who subsequently informed AH's mother, MW. AH disclosed how the defendant exposed his genitals at their residence on May 10th, 2025. AH explained this occurred in the morning before her mother found out about the text messages. AH stated that the defendant came into her room wearing a towel. The defendant instructed AH to go to his bedroom and remove her clothing. AH complied and laid down in the defendant's bed. The defendant exposed his penis to AH. The defendant continued to dry his body while watching AH's nude body on the bed. AH observed the defendant becoming sexually aroused. Afterwards, the defendant instructed AH to leave the bedroom. AH stated that MW was in the house at the time. AH explained that her mother is paralyzed and in a wheelchair. AH described how the defendant deliberately instructed her to enter his room when MW was out of sight. A Mirandaized interview with the defendant, Eric A. Walker. The detective conducted a Mirandaized interview with the defendant on May 11th, 2025. The defendant told him he was aware of the sexual assault allegations. The defendant stated that his behavior changed after MW, his wife of 7 years, was paralyzed from a gunshot injury and his brother passed away. He identified AH as his stepdaughter. When the detective questioned him about the text messages, the defendant began to cry and admitted he needed help. He acknowledged asking AH to send nude photographs and described experiencing lustful desires towards her. However, he denied having sexual intercourse with AH. End of complaint. I hope people understood when I said that this is a very disturbing and sick criminal complaint and that it may cause triggers for people. But yes, Milwaukee, absolutely not really a city girl. Yes, it is terrible and disgusting. Now, I do want to get your thoughts and opinions. Like, what should be done? It's a lot of these people that are in our city. If I was to, every time I was cousin sub of the day, read a lot of these sick criminal complaints that of people just like him and even worse, if you can even imagine it being any worse, you'd be like, wow, like it's a common occurrence. It's a common occurrence. But I like to hear your thoughts and opinions on this particular criminal complaint. And what do you think the punishment should be for these individuals? And, you know, we always hear about, well, sexual predators and pedophiles are being let black out into the community and they've served their time. So 833-212-1017. 833-212-1017. Also, you can hit us up on the Truth Talk text line and give me your thoughts. You can give me your thoughts, comments, and opinions there. And, of course, if you're streaming us live on YouTube and X at 1017 The Truth, while you're there, like and subscribe. But let me hear your thoughts, comments, and opinions on that as well. Very sick. I have a place that I just call Annihilation Island where, you know, I just don't believe that we should have to be bothered with people like this, monsters. I don't even want to call them people. I don't even want to call them people. They're monsters, predators, you know, pedophiles, the whole nine. 8 years old. And she recalls him having sexual intercourse with her several times. Several. To where she couldn't count. Sincere, Ronnie Ray Rio, great afternoon. Love you, appreciate you. Said there's absolutely no excuse for his behavior. Get rid of him, no mercy. I'm telling you, like, we have to protect our children. And I know that there are different cases of different this, but I'm going with the child first. I'm going with the child first. If you're meant to be found innocent, you're meant to be found that is not real, then okay. So that's what we're talking about. Again, the number to call in and join in on this discussion right now, 833-212-1017. You stream us live again on YouTube and X at 1017 The Truth. We'll have more conversation on the other side. This is your Cousin Sub of the Day, Home Blow, sponsored by Cousin Subs. We'll be black on the other side, and we can get some discussion going on. We'll be black.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth, Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform, and on my show, our community always has a voice. There is no topic that is off limits, and I always give you my authentic opinions on how I feel, because keeping it real is the only way I know how to get down. Listen to Truth to Power with me, Kyle Wallace, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube at 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
I know that 1 in 10 veterans struggle daily with mental health issues. Suicide is a real risk. If you or someone you love is struggling today, you are not alone. Support is at reachoutwis.org to find local resources available for you and your loved ones. Reach out today.
Paid for by Advancing a Healthier Wisconsin Endowment with support by the Medical College of Wisconsin, the War Memorial Center, and reachoutwis.org.
What are some of the things that we need to really focus on to get our fair share of these opportunities, i.e. access to capital?
You know, it's very important to always think about building a strong business plan
understanding the financial parameters around what you're trying to accomplish, building great networks and great relationships so you can have partnerships and building out your dream. And then finding a good financial partner like Old National to help really orchestrate your vision of the organization. And then, as you know, DT, you wouldn't be where you're at because you're phenomenal, doing great work. And then you have to really have to go to work. If you have that dream, you have that vision, the business plan, the financial piece, then you have to really work at it and keep building.
Learn more about the Old National Bank Small Business Empowerment Loan by visiting oldnational.com/small business or contact a small business banker at Old National Bank.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, broadcasting live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am your Cousin Sub of the day. I'm a club sub sponsored by Cousin Subs and the legendary Home Blow. For those who got a chance to listen to the disturbing, horrific criminal complaint where the stepdaughter of Eric A. Walker, he started when she was just 8 years old and continued to sexually assault / rape her, and just so first, so there's a plethora of different questions and sub questions to the question, what do you think as it relates to parenting? What went wrong? Did somebody drop the ball? Is the mother at fault? Now, remember, the mother ended up becoming paralyzed later. It wasn't like when her daughter first started getting raped by this stepfather, Eric A. Walker. So how much of it do you put on parents? Do is it mom's fault? Because again, these charges just came out in 2025, this month, you know what I'm saying? Keep in mind, like May 10th, this is when these charges actually came about. So who, is there some fault to the mother in this situation? Is it strictly on this monster, this pedophile that did these things? How can we protect our children? What needs to happen? What needs to change? What didn't happen that should have happened, in your opinion? Give us a call, 833-212-1017, because we have to be able to protect our children. I mean, she's been going through this since she was 8. She's like 15 now, and was still going through it. He's still going, you go in there and lay on my bed, and you know what I mean? Like still, this is... I definitely want to get y'all thoughts again, so participate. Marquise G said, this man is sick. All pedophiles need to be killed by a firing squad. Just my opinion. Melody Matten on the True Talk text line said, done. Where was her mother? Is she charged? Done. Here we go. We got White Widow on the Truth Talk text line. White Widow from Milwaukee, you are on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Your thoughts or comments on this particular topic?
Yeah, thanks for taking my call, and it's nice to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah, you're very welcome. I love you, and I appreciate you.
All right, great. Yeah, who's the guardian? You know, we saw this with R. Kelly, underage. He's in jail, but yet the second layer, the guardians who pass their children off or volunteer or who do not do due diligence. I mean, it's not rocket science. When I was coming up, hey, Ma, the girls are going with the guy, you know, he said, the license plates, you make money, blah, blah, you take the numbers. Something's wrong with someone like that. Subsequently, yeah, the guy, they were, oh, hey, I'll give you $1 if you show me your kitty walking to school. So, you know, hey, I want to see other charges. I want to see who was her guardian. Was she gainfully employed, or was this guardian also getting money or some form of payment to take care of this child? Really? So, I don't mean to jump off on this, but
I get you.
This is wrong.
But the biological mother, somewhere in between, I guess, the marriage, because they have been married for 7 years from the criminal complaint, but they've been together since like 2018 when the girl was 8 years old. I think, no, they've been living together since 2017, as it said in the criminal complaint. In 2018 is when he started to rape the stepdaughter when she was 8 years old. And obviously this abuse continued on. And at once, in somewhere in between, I want to say maybe the 7 years that they were married, his wife, her mother, ended up getting shot and was paralyzed and in a wheelchair. And so he would take advantage of that, from what the daughter said.
You know, I stopped listening after about the fourth charge.
I get it.
But you know what? That's throwing me. That's throwing me way somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Somewhere else. It goes to show how we can all learn if we don't have all the information. Man, I can't. I don't know. I'll have to dwell on that, but
I get it. I get it.
That's a hard one to swallow. You know what I mean? How can you penalize someone? But when you in your full capacity faculties, my granddaughter's in a wheelchair after three surgeries 2 years ago. She was running the day before. Mm-hmm. She's 13. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I think that, I don't know. I don't know. We have to.
I know.
There's a situation where you have a physical disability, but does that remove you of your adult responsibilities if you have the cognizance?
Nope.
And the only challenge you have is, it's a hard one.
I get
Thank you, Mr. Grove. Thank you, Mr. Grove, for enlightening me.
Absolutely. I love you and I appreciate you. We're going to the line. Miss Carolyn, welcome from the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Great afternoon. I love you. I appreciate you. What's your thoughts and opinions on this?
Hi, Homer. I kind of agree with White Widow and stuff because prior to her being in the wheelchair, she's at fault, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And even though she's in a wheelchair, like White Widow said, was her cognitive faculties there? What are you not doing to pay attention to your 8-year-old child? And it's on her. I don't care if she's in a wheelchair. It's on her because that started when that baby was little. You should have known your man is sneaking around in your house. How you not know that?
Mm-hmm.
My mother found some of my sister's underwear behind the couch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing she did is she came down there to us and she said, is my husband, which was her boyfriend at the time, she was like, is he messing with y'all? And, of course, we was, like, grossed out about it because he had never did anything like that because he was like a father to us.
Mm-hmm.
But she came and asked us because she found these underwear. So there's telltale signs. The mother's at fault. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I get it. And it's all about everybody's thoughts and opinions because we are the ones that if we're going to help change the narrative in these situations and let people know, like, yeah, this is why I hold you accountable. As it relates to her cognizance, to going to what you as well as White Widow said, on May 10th of this year, 2025, 15-year-old victim A.H. and her mother, M.W., reported sexual abuse by defendant Eric Walker at the District 4 police station NW identified the defendant as her husband. So I think that's cognizant. I think that's cognizant right there. I think that, here it is in 2025, and even though you're paralyzed, you were able to say, okay, we're going to the police station to report this. So, but thank you for your call. Thank you for your call. All right. Yeah, not really. A city girl said the mothers do not always know. I get where that comes into play, but how close of attention are you paying to your daughters? That's where I would go. And this is whether it's a mother situation or father situation and something like that is happening. Like, are you not paying attention? There are certain things, just from reading so many of these criminal complaints and just hearing actual women and some boys talk about the fact when they were coming up and they were being raped, molested, assaulted while they were coming up by immediate family members, whether it was mother, father, or brother, sister, or just somebody close. And one of the things that I always tend to notice is they have a similarity of when they talk about how their behavior patterns change, how they didn't want to be left alone with the person. And so I think that it's got to be some type of signs and signals that some of these children are to the best of their ability. And remember, just like this monster was trying to tell her, well, you do this, then you don't love me and all of that kind of stuff. You love me, don't you? And, and then the ones that you want me to go to jail or prison. It's some sickness going on. Again, the lines are open, 833-212-1017. Truth Nation, please hit us up. Let us know. And, of course, on YouTube, X, and, of course, the Truth Talk text line. Let us know. I can read your comments. You can give your own. We're about to get ready to take care of some bills. Again, you are in tune with Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. I am your official Cousin Sub of the day. I'm a club sub sponsored by Cousin Subs. We'll have more conversation on the other side. We'll be black.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Coming with straight truth.
I wonder how many of these kids that's running around here, if they tested them for lead, look up lead crisis in different townships and look at the behavior and then look at what's going on in Milwaukee and match it up. Do your little research. Go get your thumbs instead of getting in the comments and arguing with folks. Go look up the side effects of a lead poison environment, then watch the news.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
There are many times I thought, I can't do this. I mean, what parent isn't worried about? What am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough? And then I realized, wait, that's being a parent.
Don't worry about being perfect. I've had around 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
The greatest reward for me is he makes me better every day.
I would tell a family considering adopting a teenager that teenager, whoever it is,
needs you, and they need what you have to offer.
Taylor's giving me hope. He's our son, and that is what he will always be.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan pleads not guilty during her arraignment in federal court. She's charged with obstruction and concealing an individual to prevent an ICE arrest in her county courtroom back in April. Dugan and her lawyers filed a motion to dismiss her case on Wednesday, claiming that the charges are unconstitutional and that she's entitled to judicial immunity for her official acts. Dugan is due back in court for a hearing on July 9th. Mouse droppings have been found in the school kitchen of an MPS building. Milwaukee Health Department located rodent droppings in the main kitchen of Pulaski High School after an inspection into the school on Tuesday. MHD ordered the school to cease all kitchen operations for a week until sanitation is complete, and all potential entrances for mice blocked off. There was no evidence of food contamination reported at the school. Homeless shelters in Waukesha are at capacity. This Wednesday, Hebron Housing Services stated they reached full capacity while the Salvation Army has less than 5 spots available. The unhoused are now facing wait lists and traveling to other locations to see if they have any availability. Waukesha shelters are not alone, as Milwaukee's The Guest House has operated with a waitlist in full capacity for years. CEO of The Guest House, Stephen Barr, states that the stock market and uncertainty of federal-funded programs may prolong this issue. Hebron Housing Services say they hope to have their emergency overflow shelter open in early June. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am your official cousin sub of the day. I'm a club sub. I am the captain now. Again, sponsored by Cousin Subs. And, of course, I'm filling in for Dr. Ken Harris, who is on assignment, the legendary yours truly, Home of Blow. The True Talk text lines are open, 833-212-1017. I want to read some of the comments from the text line and some of the YouTube, and then I'm going to go to Katie, who's been patiently holding during the break. Let's see. Karan D. Agostino said, cut it off. I believe the child. Send him to jail. Charges should add up to life. Let Bubba have him. Also said, there is no cure. Anna Orlo said, I believe this criminal has out-of-state records for the same types of crime. Shady O said, who deflowered that girl? Eric A. Walker, born in 85. Let's see. Also, Annie said dysfunction all around. And of course, on the YouTube page, let's see, we've got Sincere saying there's absolutely, okay, I got that one. You had to click off. You said you got to have talks with your kids about predatory behavior and that you're there to protect them, that they're in safe space. Just can't leave folks with your kids. That's a constant talk. I made sure with that, with all of my kids, trust is earned and proven. Also came Black to say there are so many signs that are there. How come you don't notice? Under your roof, too? Unexcusable, for real, for real. Not really a city girl said the mothers do not always know. Low end, great afternoon, love you, appreciate you, great evening now. Said parents don't always know. We're about to go to the lines right now with Katie from Milwaukee. Katie from Milwaukee, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What's your thoughts or comments about this particular sick monster?
Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I thought about not calling in because, like White Widow, blaming the mom. I didn't hear her blame the guy, but I was in that situation. I work nights. My husband worked days, so that way we didn't have to put the girls in daycare. One of us was watching them. The girls would, like they didn't want me to go to work. And I just figured that mean, they loved me. They didn't want me to go. I had no idea about the horrors that they went through when I was gone. And then he would soak them in cold water, like bathe them in cold water. So there was no swelling or anything like that. There were no telltale signs for me when I came home and, got them ready for school. And he told them that if they said anything, he would cut me up in little pieces and put me in the trash. So they were protecting me. When my oldest turned 7, I knew something was wrong. I couldn't, I didn't know what. And having a sexual problem, like they were around one of us or they were at school. They weren't around strangers or Uncle Joe or, nothing like that, So I didn't know what was wrong, and it came out at Children's Hospital and then the Child Protective Services, and it was a whole ordeal. And I felt guilty for years. I think there's still some parts of me that still do, because why couldn't I see it? I mean, I picked up on it later, but I don't even know when it started. He was their dad, so he's changing diapers. Did it start then? I don't even know. But blaming the mom. I mean, you got to know the whole story, and what was going on. Because I didn't see it, and I think I'm a pretty smart person, but I didn't see it until they got a little older. And so it's very important to listen to your kids and talk to them, and you just do the best you can and support them. Because I was in a crazy place. It's like, no, not their dad. He couldn't be doing that. But I believe my girls. But I can't believe it's him. But I believe I'm in this crazy place. But we just had to go, and we got in the car and headed out of here, just to get away. I mean, my marriage was over. That was it. It wasn't no going back. And even for divorce, they wanted me to take a class on understanding child molester. Like, are you serious? No, he needs to go to jail. I'm understanding that. I understand he needs to go to jail. So, I think people need to have maybe a little bit of an open mind and get the whole story before they blame the mom and whatever. So
how did you go about?
Get that out.
Yep. I want to ask you.
I'm sorry?
I want to ask you, how did you work out that relationship with your daughters? You know what I mean, with the child, because you didn't recognize it right away. So how did you go about mending that? Because there's a lot of daughters that have anger issues towards their parents, whether it was the mother or the father that didn't listen or didn't pick up on the signs. And to this day, they may still have this anger towards them and be like, you didn't protect me, you didn't this. So how did you work through that part of it?
We started going to therapy right away, and it took some time. Both the girls, they said as soon as I found out, I was protecting them, and I had them. Our family wasn't there for us, or anybody. The church wasn't there for us. Well, nobody was there, but I was there for the girls. So, as they got older, they could see it, and I don't really know how they felt or feel, really, but I know I felt really guilty and bad because I didn't see it sooner. So one was 4 and one was 7. When, I realized something, they start cutting sheets and peeing in the car and, say, do your homework, and they say, make me, it's like, what? This is like not my girls.
Right.
Something's not right. So, yeah, but, before that, they were afraid for me. And even at that time, they were afraid for me. So, that's another guilty part, that these little girls are trying to protect me, and that's my job.
Absolutely.
To protect them. So.
Well, Katie, I want to say that I thank you for being transparent, because this can help so many other people who had to deal with it. And as like Loan is saying, see what I mean? Parents don't always know, so people need to stop being quick to jump to judgment. And because people need to hear your story. People need to hear someone who went through it and how you worked to deal with it after the fact. So thank you for that.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
You take care.
All right, you too. Love you. Again, 833-212-1017, the Truth Talk text line if you want to join in, give your thoughts and opinions on this after those who heard me reading that very disturbing criminal complaint for Eric A. Walker, who had been raping, molesting, incest his stepdaughter since 2018 to present 2025. Just E Boogie said they see it and don't see it. People get so caught up in everyday life, work, school, bills, etc. You have to pay attention to your children. So again, I got to get ready to take care of some bills. And if you'd like to join in on this conversation, get your thoughts, comments, and opinions. How do we break these cycles? What should be done or could be done in order to be more aware when these situations may be existing right up under your nose? Again, 833-212-1017. Stream us live on YouTube and X at 1017 The Truth. While you're there, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll be black on the other side. Got to get ready to take care of these bills. I am sitting in for Dr. Ken Harris, who is on assignment. I'm your cousin sub of the day, the legendary Home of Blow, sponsored by Cousin Subs. We'll be black.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Experience some of the most cherished popular music of all time when the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra presents Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound, May 23rd through the 25th at the Bradley Symphony Center. Byron Stripling will lead the MSO and an exciting trio of vocalists that include Broadway superstar Chester Gregory, Ashley J., and Brick Liam in a musical sojourn of hits made famous by legendary talents such as Lou Rawls, Marvin Gaye, Diana Ross, and The Temptations. Songs like My Girl, I Heard It Through the Grapevine, and I'm Coming Out will come alive in fun and stylish arrangements that are sure to have you dancing and humming along in your seat. Let's Groove Tonight, Motown and the Philly Sound runs May 23rd through the 25th only. So lock up your tickets right now by calling the box office at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Cause when my come in, they gotta use the scale that they weigh the whales with.
Thompson's on the Jeep. Bugatti made the prototype. Hope you get the picture, but you just can't photo light.
Determined, make it. Kicking down the
We gonna make it. We gonna make it. Got to give a shout out to Big Ken and his wife, of course, Dog City Hot Dogs, and of course Pop City here inside the Avenue and the 3rd Street Market Hall. Thank you, brother, and to you and your wife and your whole staff and crew. Had a chance to check out Dog City, got some of that corned beef, and I was all good. I also got to get my mix of my favorite popcorns at Pop City. So I appreciate y'all. Hashtag that part, hashtag facts. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio in the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I'm your cousin sub of the day. I'm a club sub, sponsored by Cousin Sub, the legendary Home of Blood. We're talking about this disturbing criminal complaint. Of course, he should never get out of prison, but if it was up to me, he wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't even have to pay taxes on him, and we wouldn't have to even take care of him. But I'm going to go right back to our lines, our True Talk text lines. Of course, 833-212-1017. Ivana, great evening. I love you. I appreciate you. What's your thoughts and opinions on this?
Hey, I've been listening in to you guys for probably a month. It's some change now, and this is become one of my favorite radio shows. And I'm 24, so I used to think talk shows was like an old head thing, and y'all got me hooked.
There you go. Thank you, Ivana. We appreciate you, Truth Nation. Welcome to Truth Nation.
Yes. One of the things that we tend not to talk about is consent. And I really think that us as parents need to really break down consent at an early age to our children. And one of the things that these predators prey on is the ignorance of the child, not knowing that the acts that are happening to them are, what they are. So I think a part of our duty as parents is teaching our children consent. Both for boys and girls, telling our young boys, you need to have permission to have access to a woman's body, and it's not just, yours to claim at whatever time. For us telling our girls, if something is going on or somebody's touching certain parts of you, you need to come and tell me. And another thing with this, because I hear it before, like predators, they say, oh, well, I'll do something to your mom, like with this last situation. That's not uncommon.
Right.
But if we inform our children, hey, if you tell me, how will they know? If you come to me, I can hurt them before they hurt me. And I'll make sure you're safe. I think that a lot of these situations could be stopped if we give our children the words to voice what's going on to them. If we give our children the courage to make sure that they're standing up for themselves, teaching our children self-defense, because a lot of them don't know. They don't know what is happening to them. And when they know, they will have power and strength in the situation to turn the situation around. Now they're not compliant in it. Now they're not quiet in it. Now they're coming to us saying what they need to say. They're fighting back. There's proof, there's evidence, there's more, and it stops earlier, it stops sooner. We need to teach our children consent from a very early age to protect them, honestly. And I don't think that this is talked about enough. I have a 4-year-old son, and I'm starting to teach him in my own way, saying, don't touch me here, don't touch me here, don't touch anyone else there. Just as simple as that. This is not comfortable for me. Let's not do that. So yes, I think that's what Pearce said. I didn't hear anything about the mom saying, I taught my kids, consent, or I taught my daughters about this, that, and that. No, I don't hear anybody talking about where consent is talked about in their own home. And I really want to encourage the listeners here to add that into their parenting to protect your children, really.
Absolutely. And again, that is absolutely something that people don't do. And I think that with you being blessed to be 24 and becoming a part of Truth Nation, we love that part. We love that. The fact that, a lot of people came up in a day and age where what happens in this house stays in this house. And I personally go around touting, I think that was one of the worst things that we could have done, talking about what happens in this house stays in this house, because it made us terrified to even talk about anything that was going on in the house. So then when you got those situations where the parent or the guardian is not listening to you, you're like, well, who else can I tell? I done told the people in the house, and they said, don't take it outside the house. So I love what you're doing. I hope that a lot of people will end up, heeding to what you said and put that into the repertoire, because we've got children in this day and age that you can't just be beating around the bush, as they used to say. You got to be straightforward and direct. You got to be straightforward and direct and be like, look, this is this. This is wrong. I am not supposed to do this to you, and neither is anybody else. And you got to stop saying down there and this, that, and the other. We got to be direct, because when these kids are leaving our homes, they're out there with a unfiltered world, an unfiltered society, and they gonna hear it all. You may not play the dirty music in your house, but when they listening to somebody else's earpods or AirPods, they gonna hear the regular dirty version of the song. And so, all of that, and when you don't keep it 1,000 with how this goes, again, you open it up for a lot of other trouble. But thank you for your call, Ivana, and thank you for joining Truth Nation.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, love you. All right, we're going to go to the caller. Great evening. I love you. I appreciate you. What's your thoughts and opinions on this?
My brother, and I think you and the previous caller have to piggyback off what you guys said. Communication and also protection, Homer Blow.
Yes.
Because what I didn't hear is, where was the biological father if he lives in Milwaukee? Why would he not be present enough to find, because two heads are better than one. And this is where co-parenting comes in, and it takes a level of communication to achieve that. And so many times, if we're not good at communicating with other adults, we don't communicate well with our children. And so even though there's no intent on the mothers of these young ladies, sometimes being complacent and not being as much of a communicating parent as this previous young lady says that she is, enables the creeps to get into the life of your children, even if you never notice traits of them being that way as you're dating them. I lived near some people who I would have never thought had that going on in their family, and later found out that it was rampant in their family once my neighbors became adults, and it did a lot of harm to people who were, in spite of that, fantastic people, but it did damage them psychologically, and it's hard to be friends with people like that once they pour all that out. It's harder because you become a therapist more than a friend.
Right, and it transcends because there's so many people who haven't dealt with that part of their life. There are people right now that I guarantee you could call in to Truth Nation and say, look, I am a victim of, and this is my first time talking about it. And, it's a lot of people. I've learned that over just the decades of me being in radio and doing what I do, that it's so many people that say, I've never talked about it. I've never shared this with anybody. I didn't even tell my mother. I didn't tell this person. And I'm shocked that I'm saying it right now, but they saying if it can help somebody. So it's something that has been, shielded. And I love Ivana speaking on no, you got to you got to let them know, like for real, even
and
when
I want to let Ivana know that there are some people. My grandmother was one of them who communication was important to her, and one thing about it was keep your hands to yourself. There was no wrestling allowed in her house, for example, because a lot of times it starts with children who have been bothering other children as well. So it's not always an adult that commits these acts. So
absolutely,
is based on what the rules in your home is, and I want Ivana to know that there are a lot of people that's going on for generations. So she's carrying on an excellent legacy that some people have done for a long time.
Absolutely. Thank you to call.
As she would put it.
Yeah.
All right, God bless.
I love you. I appreciate you. Again, we're talking about this disturbing criminal complaint for Eric A. Walker from Milwaukee, date of birth 8/25/85, who is the stepdad to A.H., who since 2018, when she was 8 years old, began to rape her. So we got to take care of some bills. The number to call in, Truth Talk text line, Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. Make sure you stream us live on YouTube and X at 1017 The Truth. We'll have more conversation on the other side. I'm your official cousin sub of the day. I'm a club sub, the legendary Home Blow, in for Dr. Ken Harris, who is on assignment, will be black.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl Noni Juice, and it's Steinhaffel's Memorial Day mattress sale. Save up to $900 on select adjustable base sets, plus get up to $300 in Steinhaffel's cash. And take advantage of Steinhaffel's special 60-month financing. You can get a Queen Tempur-Pedic mattress for only $48 per month, a Beauty Rest Black mattress for only $36 per month, and an Avocado mattress for only $26 per month. Steinhaffel's is Wisconsin's mattress leader. Shop in-store or online at steinhaffels.com.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks. And enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Carrie Noni with her truth.
You know, sometimes the mundane isn't a burden, it's the beauty of living. I came to this conclusion after recently watching the movie Subservience on Netflix. It's a crazy film, y'all. I would suggest you check it out. But it's a story that explores our relationship with technology and how it's programmed to take our burdens away. This movie really got me thinking about how much we're wired to avoid struggle. We create tools and shortcuts to make life easier, whether it's robots, apps, or even outsourcing everyday tasks. But in the process, we risk forgetting the value of the little things we go through every day. Sure, folding laundry or grocery shopping might feel like chores. I literally dread cleaning up. But isn't there something grounding about them? Something that reminds us we're human. Life isn't just about the highlights or the easy parts. It's about the messy, repetitive, and sometimes inconvenient stuff too. Think about it. Who would you be if you didn't have to face the small frustrations that test your patience, or the routines that push you to show up for yourself or the people around you? The mundane moments, the ones we rush to escape, are often the ones that shape us. If life was nothing but convenience, where's the growth? Where's the grit that teaches us resilience? And most importantly, where's the appreciation for the moments that do take our breath away? So maybe the next time you find yourself annoyed by the daily grind and are on the brink of crashing out, you pause, you breathe, and remind yourself that the beauty of life isn't just in the big moments, but in every little thing that makes them possible.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Listen to Jammin' with Juice with Ben Jammin and Carrie Noni weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
We've got a bunch of accidents to deal with, so let's get to them quick. Highway 100 northbound, right at the Menominee River Parkway. The right lane is blocked on northbound Highway 100. And then we've got one on 43 southbound on the ramp to get onto 794 eastbound on the right shoulder. Another one just past the Mitchell Interchange on southbound 94. And one more right just south of Ryan Road on southbound 94 as well. Take it easy out there. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Storms early, then mostly clear, mild, low of 55. And then tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy, warm with a chance for afternoon showers or storms, a high of 81. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Brewers' losing skid came to a halt as they get a 9-5 win over the Cleveland Guardians on Wednesday afternoon. Rhys Hoskins had 4 hits, drove in 5 runs, and the Brewers finally get back into the win column.
It's nice to hit with 2 legs. I'm swinging at the right pitches. I'm taking the right pitches, and the key to this game is not missing the ones that show up in the middle of the plate.
Next up for the Brewers is a series against the Minnesota Twins beginning on Friday. The Green Bay Packers' 2025 schedule is out for the first time in Matt LaFleur's tenure. They will open the season at home. They will host Detroit on Sunday, September 7th. And the bye week for the Packers comes early in Week 5. And lastly, over to the NBA, where the Celtics beat the Knicks 127-102. That series now 3-2 with the New York Knicks still out in front. And the Warriors clinching their ticket to the Western Conference Finals for the second consecutive year with a 121-110 win over the Golden State Warriors. The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Check. Yo, I'm making short-term goals when the weather falls. Just put away the leathers and put ice on the gold. Chilly with enough bail money to free a big Willie. High stakes, I got more at stake than Philly. Shopping sprees, copping 3. Deuce fever, yeses. Fully loaded, yes. Bouncing in the Lex Luger. Tire smoke like Buddha. 50 G's to the crap shooter.
Homer Blow, the legendary Homer Blow. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee. I am your cousin sub of the day. I'm a club sub. You're going to learn today. I'm just saying. Glenn, how you feeling? Brother Z, I see you still hanging out, man. You pulling overtime, past the overtime and the overtime? What's going on, man? Oh, okay. I got you. I understand. Glenn, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. It's been a really, really good Thursday for me.
Okay, man. Cool. Again, we are talking about this disturbing criminal complaint that I read earlier. And on the Truth Talk text line, we got John Fletcher. Said, this is John Fletcher from EPU Personal Self-Defense System, LLC. We offer parenting classes on this subject information, which is powerful. We need it. We need it. I'm just telling you. Carolyn Neely said the tail signs was when they didn't want her to go to work. That is when the investigation should have started. She also said it's called deep conversations. She's right. We don't know her story, but we know she had a warning she felt to yield to. Okay. The lines are open right now, 833-212-1017. How do we change it? And I love the interaction that we are having, because this will help other people, because there are so many people who are dealing with this and so many that have not yet dealt with it. And a lot of those people don't understand how important, we're talking about it being Mental Health Month and Mental Health Awareness Month, that you need therapy. It's cool talking to family and friends, but you need somebody on the outside, because you think about sometimes how long it takes some people to come out and just talk about it to even their immediate family or their parents or their guardians or whatever the case may be. But that is something that is so deep that sometimes the information that they need to share, they're not even comfortable with sharing it with their immediate family sometimes. And so there has to be other options, and you have to understand that, take the stigma off, oh, well, if you go see a psychiatrist or you go see a therapist, you crazy. No, you're smart. You're smart because you understand that your brain is not just designed to just keep getting overwhelmed like this. I'm not saying that there's not some people that have dealt with a lot of stuff, but it's not designed. You need to be able to understand, like, you know what? I need to talk to somebody. If I stay on the path that I'm on, I'm going to end up hurting myself or somebody else or a whole bunch of somebody else's. So our mental health is very, very important. And when you don't take care of it, it can begin to work against you. It will affect you, your life, the decisions that you make, just all kind of thing. Your relationships. There's a lot of relationships that haven't been able to work out because some people are still dealing with some things internally that they haven't brought out. So they can't get the monkey off their back. They can't get that thing off of them because they are still holding it. And it's like they won't let it off of themselves. They won't just say, you know what, I got to free myself from this situation. And going to a therapist and going to get some mental help, that can show you or help you to learn how to release, to be able to become transparent and talk about these things. Some people won't admit when they are a bad parent, but you may have been a bad parent. You may have been a bad parent. And, sometimes when we think that, well, I did the best that I could, to who? To you. It's usually to us. We building ourselves up saying that we did the best that we could, but did we really do the best that we could? Because if you examine yourself, nothing is perfect. So if nothing is perfect, then that means there were some choices and some things that you did in parenting that wasn't right. So I'm not saying to the degree that, oh, well, you're just, terrible, 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 but you have to be able to listen. And this is why we encourage you to join in on the YouTube and X pages and put your dialogue out there so we can hear it, not just from our perspective here on the inside, but we need to be able to hear your perspectives. This is why we encourage you to call the True Talk text line 833-212-1017, because we can give you our narrative all day, every day. But we also don't know how your life is going on the other side of that phone line, on the other side of that YouTube comment, on the other side of that True Talk text comment that you made. We don't know. And that's why when you hear people say you can't feel my struggle, You don't know what I've been through. It's a lot of people that have been through a lot of things and have always been just talked down to or talked on and not really listened to. And some people, because of every time that they may say something, they're labeled crazy, be like, you crazy. And that's what they may have been hearing all of their life. So guess what? They kind of go into that mode. Well, they say that I'm crazy, as Boosie would say. You feel what I'm saying? You start owning the crazy then. Well, that's what crazy, okay, then that's what I am. But some people just really need to be able to have people that are willing to listen. You know, sometimes people don't want your damn opinion. They just want to vent. They want to get something off their chest. They don't need you to rebuttal and come in and say, oh, okay, well, hold on. See what you should do. They've been hearing that all their life. Why don't you find out where they are? And that's how you converse with somebody. You know, and we all have to take our self-accountability, because if we can't take it, how can we expect anybody else to hold themselves accountable and they watching you not hold yourself accountable? Some people don't want to say, man, you know what? I'm sorry. I messed up. I didn't even know. I joke so much. I throw shade at different stuff. My sarcastic mode is on a whole nother level. The sarcasm is strong with me. You feel what I'm saying? But to some people, you may have hurt them or said something that really bothered them, and they just didn't say it because, you know, you may take what they end up trying to say to you and try to turn that into something that is funny or having other people laugh at them. And that's not what they need. They may need something else. But we have to be able to speak up. You got to be able to also speak up as a person that may be receiving that and be able to say, you know what? Hey, man, that hurt. That hurt. That bothered me. Yeah, I didn't think, you know what I'm saying, you would say something like that. But when you don't, then the other person feels like, hey, I ain't did nothing wrong. I don't know why they tripping. Sincere on the Truth YouTube page said, that right there, Homer, people make excuses. I know accountability is a mother, but do better. Right, absolutely. Absolutely, because, again, when you know that you may have some children that are out here wayward, and I hope that they are paying attention to that gas station on 76 in Silver Spring. I've seen so many women posting that they have been up there, and a lot of YNs, as they calling them now, have been up there carjacking people and pulling women out their cars and all of that kind of stuff. And they said it's just been going on for a long time. And although it's the topic right now, they said it's actually been going on for years up there. And so now you got people who are talking about, yeah, well, let's go up there, let's ride up there, and this, that, and the other. And I get it, but again, why not also get in conjunction with law enforcement in that particular district and say, hey, look at these posts. In case y'all didn't know, look at these posts. Look at these women. They're obviously saying it publicly, so you can go and contact them and find out what the hell is going on and what happened to them. But we're going to take care of some bills. And again, the True Talk text line is 833-212-1017. And we are just, you know, we got to talk about it. We got to get some answers and some solutions to the things that are going on. How can we listen better? How can we understand our children better? How can we make sure that they don't have to live a life of hidden secrets and going through hell trying to still be normal? We'll have more conversation on the other side. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. I'm your official Cousin Sub of the Day, Club Sub, sponsored by Cousin Sub, the legendary Homer Blow. We'll be black.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Hey there, did you hear? There are still spots open for Girl Scout Summer Camp 2025.
Whether you're into water activities, arts and crafts, sports and games, exploring nature, or even horseback riding, there's a camp just for you.
Choose from GSY's day camps, overnight camps, community day camps, or Camp Hero.
Bring a friend and get ready for a summer full of adventure, friendship, and leadership.
Register today and let's make this the best summer ever, Girl Scout style.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm, forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Keep regulators, mount up.
It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some skirts for the E, so I could get some phones. Rolling in my ride, chilling all alone.
Just cousin sub the other day. I'm a club sub, feeling in the day. But Dr. Ken Harris, who's on assignment, so I'm here to do my thing. You want to talk to me? Calling all Black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We have teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business Give Black. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. To sign up for your business spotlight interviews, visit blackbusinessgiveblack.com. That is blackbusinessgiveblack.com. Let's rebuild our community's black bone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveblack.com. Associated Bank member FDIC. I'm Black. Truth in the Afternoon. We're in the final countdown here in the heart of the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, the American Family Insurance Studio. Again, we have to thank our people. Let me go to the Truth YouTube page where Kawanda Duke said, and when I started from a comment that I was making before we went to break, and when I started doing exactly that, I don't talk to half of those people now, and gave a high five. That was nobody but God revealing and removing. Mao the Elephant said, Kawanda Dukes 100 people always expect you to accept their nonsense, especially when it's not productive. Hashtag that part. Kawanda Duke said, I'm no longer silent or tiptoe around their feelings now. I'm the villain. Oh well, right? Absolutely. You got to do that. You have to let people know. And those people who were only in your life for a season, you got to let it be that their season is up. Stop trying to keep people in your life that was only meant there to be for a season, and sometimes not even a whole season. You know what I mean? You got the beginning of spring, you got spring, and then you got the end of spring. So sometimes they were just there for the beginning. And let it be that. Stop trying to hold on to people that they're out for something. There's a hidden agenda behind it. We got to take care of our kids, y'all. We got to take care of our kids. We got to learn to listen to our children. And in this, what I call mutated generation, we got so many people that are dealing with not being properly raised, not having somebody that'll listen to them because they talk to them any kind of way. You see people grabbing their children by the arm and just dragging them and cussing them out like little young boys and girls. And I'm talking about young. I ain't even talking about preteens or teens. I'm talking about the very young, calling the girls bees and all of that. Come here, little bee. You get what I'm saying? It's like, really? So they going to think that. And not to mention that they get in the damn car and you playing the music that is not edited and you singing and you hype. So, oh, that make mama happy? That make daddy happy? Okay, then I'm going to sing that. I'm going to do it that way. So we got to save and protect our children because they are the future, whether you want to look at it or not. So if you look at where we are right now, these are going to be some of the people who are going to be working at the seasoned citizen homes. These are some of the people that are going to be working in the rehabilitation places. All of these things are reality, and you better get ready to face that reality because, again, they are going to be the ones. So now you're either going to try to help reform and some of those ones that are out of control and hope the ones coming behind them won't have to come up with that same mentality. I've never seen as many nursing homes and rehabilitation homes with violations of elder abuse and all of that kind of stuff with some of the people that are working in those places now. I mean, that you didn't have that back in the day. You feel what I'm saying? You didn't have that. But now it's like a regular situation, the way that they're treating some of our people. And if you have somebody that's in a nursing home or a rehabilitation, go visit them. Because some of them ain't being treated right. Some of them are not being treated right. And I'm just saying, that's just real talk. That's real talk. And they count on the fact that their family or their friends ain't going to come out there to see them no more. You know, and that's just real talk. That's real talk. So we got to start standing up. We got to start standing up, and we got to understand how important our children are. Now, some of them are going to go astray even if you done put your best foot forward. I see it all the time, unfortunately. But there are a lot of children that are craving knowledge. They're craving the attention. They want to learn. And we just got to figure out sometimes what is your learning language. Because some people can hear things and they get it. Some people need to see it. Some people need to touch it. You know, there's different learning tools. And if you don't figure it out and just be like, you just stupid, you just stupid. No, maybe that's not the way that they comprehend. You can't just say the comprehension skills are going to be just that. They may have a different learning ability. It's just like some people that don't find out that their children are on the autistic spectrum. And so you telling them, you know, they pulling their socks off. You're like, well, why you do that? Why you do that? And you want to discipline them. But it's like, you know, you haven't even found out that, oh, hold on, there's something deeper that might be wrong with that person that they may be dealing with that you have no idea. You have no idea. So we got to be able to, and you know, I know some people use this and y'all might think that I'm different because I am. You know, people be like, you got to go down to their level. I'm like that little boy, the little Home Alone type boy that be like, I'm not going down to your level. I'll relate to you, But how in the hell am I supposed to try to teach you if I'm going down to your level? That's not how it works for me. I'm going to give you the knowledge that I have now. So while you continue to work to get to the age that I am, that's like when I talk to babies. I haven't been that one to be like, I don't do that. I don't do that. I talk. I want them to understand words. I want them to understand the language. And me saying, and then you got a baby that's 7 years old. Like, what the hell is that? What the hell have I created? And think about it. And this is another thing I want people to understand. And some people, Glenn, I bet you people don't think about this. Have you seen babies when you try to wave at them like this? You try to wave at them like this, but when they wave, they do it like this.
They wave at you backwards?
Yeah. You know why? Because this is what they see. They see your hand going like this, but to them, they do it like this, like they waving hi to you, Black. But that's why they waving Black to themselves. And then they eventually learn to, no, do it that way. But what they see you coming at them doing this. And so they're mimicking. Children are sponges. They are picking up on every little thing. Even when you think that it's not affecting them, it's affecting them. So we have to live our lives as the people in charge of them to make sure that we pay attention to those things and we don't lead them down the wrong road. You sitting there listening to your favorite hip hop artists and it's everything explicit. But then when the teacher says, yeah, your child was in school singing this song or rapping this song saying this, and you're like, why were you in there doing that? Mama, Daddy, that's what I listen to every morning when y'all drop me off to school or daycare. So we have to take accountability, self-accountability for the things that we can do and change. Let's see. Not really. City Girl said, thanks, Homer. This topic was tough, but so necessary. Oh, you're very welcome. We got to have these tough conversations. Mount Elephant said, #facts, Homer. E Boogie said, the key, though, y'all, is to hold people accountable. It shouldn't matter if they're in your family. That part, #facts, E Boogie. Mount Elephant said, life teaches us differently so we can have our own experience to share with others and enrich each other. No lies detected, no lies detected. That part, #facts. You're going to learn today. It's always my pleasure and honor when I'm here with you, Truth Nation, and being your cousin sub of the day. As you can see, put me in. I'm going to fit in. They say get in where you fit in. I'm going to fit in. I'm going to fit in. And I appreciate the love and support. I got to get ready to wrap this up. And I got to say, be careful. The violence that's going on out here. Again, we got to work with law enforcement because that's who you're going to call if you run into it. And remember, if nobody has told you that they love you today, I want to let you know that I love you. And I want you to please have a safe and nonviolent remainder of the afternoon, evening, night, early morning. And hopefully the things we have to talk about in the near future won't have to be within our minute degrees of separation. Truth Nation, I love you. Holla Black. I'm your cousin sub of the day.